with looking at the market betting percentages. Who is the public betting on? First of all, in the NBA, and no surprise for the first couple consensus plays, we told you that the public loves betting the road favorites. Dallas favored by 64% of bets. Again, we base ours on the percent of bets because if you're a contrarian bettor, you do want to bet against the square player. So the guy that's betting, 5-team parlays at 10 and $5 and $20, they're the most important when it comes to contrarian stuff. So therefore, yes, a $5 bet not only is equal to a $5,000 bet from a contrarian standpoint, you might even argue that the $5 better should be weighed heavier. But anyway, Atlanta, also a road favorite, favored by 62%, and Indiana at 60. In college basketball, of course, lower volume games often, as far as percentage, it's the added rotation game. Sacred Heart favored by 77%, though I know they kind of a somewhat sharp move on St. Francis of Pennsylvania, that is. Coastal Carolina, 71%. Marshall, a road favorite, at 71%. And Monmouth, another road favorite, at 70% of bets. All right, NBA injuries for tonight. We have well, first of all, out Wendell Carter Jr. for Chicago against Charlotte, and the biggest one, Kevin Durant for Brooklyn against Cleveland. That the protocol, the COVID protocol. Michael Porter for Denver against Phoenix is a little bit more on the questionable to doubtful side. Guys that are pretty much questionable, almost 50-50. Pascal Siakam, Toronto and Miami. Same for Kyle Lowry, same team. Tyler Hero, one of the more underrated players in the NBA. Well, I guess maybe not anymore. But anyway, for Miami against Toronto, DeAndre Hunter, Atlanta against Minnesota, Darius Garland, Cleveland against Brooklyn, Cam Reddish, Hawks against Minnesota. All these guys are right on questionable, which means they're about 50-50 propositions. Who have been the best teams to bet on this year? We're going to get to that in a free pick in a moment. Look, we're getting some emails from long-term clients that can be summed up in, can these runs continue? Well, maybe not necessarily at this specific rate, especially the Master Lock Line and Stevie Vincent, but we were telling you from the beginning that as more and more states add sports books, we're kind of returning to the square and sharp chasm of the early 80s. A lot more square bettors are betting now, and we can measure their bets because they are betting where it's perfectly legal. Unfortunately, the sports books are joining in and releasing what their consensus plays are. So, yeah, this isn't really a fluke. Again, is the Master Lock Line going to continue a 102 and 49 rate and Stevie Vincent 50 and 13 with level 5s in the NBA? Okay, maybe not that ridiculous, but this is not fluky what is going on at OffshoreInsiders.com, taking advantage of the new dynamics. New dynamics mean more weapons, or more accurately, for us old-timers, some of the best weapons we ever had are returning. So take a look at OffshoreInsiders.com. The bet at Trinity has been beyond on fire, to say the least, at OffshoreInsiders.com. All right, top teams in the NBA this year to bet on in terms of margin of cover. ATS record first. Now, it's interesting. The Knicks, in terms of margin of cover, a league best, covering by an average of 4.4 points per game, but they're only 8-8 against the spread. But the next two teams do have winning records, actually winning records for the next several teams in terms of margin of cover. But Charlotte is 8-6, covering by an average of 3.8 points per game. Chicago, the best team in the NBA in terms of ATS record, at 10-4, covering by an average of 3.6 points per game. Who are the best teams to bet against? Sacramento's been atrocious this year. They're 5-10, failing to cover by an average of 7 points per game. Orlando at 7-8, minus 4.6. Portland at 6-8, minus 4.1. Minnesota at 6-7, minus 4 points per game. Biggest line moves tonight in terms of, we'll start out in the NBA, where Brooklyn opened up as a 9.5-point favorite. We just went over some injuries for there, where Kevin Durant is now officially out. So now Brooklyn is down to a 6.5-point favorite. Indiana opened up at -2.5. They're now -4 against Orlando. And that's about it as far as significant line moves there. Purdue Fort Worth, they opened up as a 3-point favorite against Wisconsin Green Bay. Wisconsin Green Bay now -1.5, and that's even though I know that one of my sharp sources was leaning towards Fort Wayne. Did I say Fort Worth? Yeah, Fort Wayne. I'm probably going to say that. So Fort Wayne. Anyway, Wisconsin Green Bay now the favorite after being 3-point underdogs. And let's see. Yeah, that would be about it as far as the big line moves. All right, we do have a free pick for today from Joe Duffy's Picks. And again, admittedly, I'm actually going with a pretty good spread team against a pretty bad one, which we don't always like to do. But in here, this is the exception to the rule. We're going to go with Atlanta -6 against Minnesota. Road favorites are small underdogs on a streak in which they've been pretty good offensively lately. 359, 231, and 12 as Atlanta's topped 106 points in 3 straight to set this system up. And again, when a team's in a good scoring streak, being a favorite is less significant. So, I mean, in a game where the favorite is scoring a lot, 6 points isn't quite as large as if they were in a bunch of defensive struggles. Road favorites versus teams off of a home win or a very close loss are 588, 463, and 24. Our top-rated simulator program has Atlanta covering 67% of the 10,000 simulations, winning by 12 points. Our second-best model has them covering at 55.8%, winning by 9. Mild advantage also on Massey ratings for Atlanta, but again, that's pretty good. I mean, this is pretty strong for a free play. We got some great premium picks at Joe Duffy's Picks, but again, this is where systems and the simulators are agreeing with us, and in fact, even the top power rating is slightly agreeing with us, or more, maybe more importantly, not going the other way. But again, Atlanta is your free pick. Please, if you like this information, and if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Yeah, subscribe wherever you're watching or listening. And if you're listening to the podcast, please give us a 5-star rating. But yes, please like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. And that tells us you want more information like this. It tells the search engines you want more information like this. So it's a win-win for everyone.